Hey, it's been a while, but now I'm back with another video about video editing. And today we are going to be talking about graphics cards, which is the hot topic at the moment because of the shortages and the price hikes. So we will be talking about legacy GPUs for DaVinci Resolve, and we're going to talk about what works and what doesn't, because it's so damn hard to get a decent GPU at a decent price right now. This is for students and those guys who want to start learning video editing on DaVinci Resolve on a budget. As some of you know, DaVinci Resolve requirements are pretty hefty, so we'll see if we can get by with less than minimum requirements. So these are the 5 GPUs that I will be talking about in the next couple of videos. And here are the contenders. Today we'll be looking at the venerable GTX 590. This GPU was the king back in 2010 and 2011, and you should be able to pick one of these up on eBay for about 120 USD. And okay, let's get on with it. Let's launch DaVinci Resolve 17. And this is the studio version 17.2.2, I believe. And over here I have a project already prepared and laid out some clips on the timeline. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips, and these are a mixture of different clips. Let's go through what they are. The first one is from the Mavic Pro 1, and it is recorded at UHD 25 frames per second, and it is H.264. And the next one, it's the Mavic Air 2 non-S, and it is H.265 24 frames per second at UHD. And the next one is Blackmagic Cinema Pocket Camera, and it is 1080 ProRes LT. Okay, this is taken from the Blackmagic Cinema Pocket Camera 4K, recorded in B-RAW, and it is UHD. And for some reason it artifacts when it is paused sometimes, but during playback it functions fine. And this clip here is from the new DJI Air 2S, and it is UHD H.265, recorded at 25 frames per second, and this is a 10-bit clip. It doesn't play too well, although it shows 25 frames per second up there, but it stutters quite a fair bit. And this one is a 5.4K Air 2S as well, and it is recorded in H.265 10-bit color. And you can just see that it is not possible to play this back on this graphics card. And do keep in mind that this is a full HD timeline. Well, you can see these clips already have some color corrections added to it. Okay, let's get back to the timeline here. And this is the ProRes LT at 1080, so we have no problems playing back ProRes at 1080. The next clip is UHD B-RAW, also from the Cinema Pocket Camera 4K. going into the Mavic 1 Pro footage, and it stutters quite a lot. And you can see that the GTX 590 or 580, it's not capable of video editing 4K, H.264 and H.265 clips. The clips really stutter quite a lot. What you see here is a clip from the new Air 2S, and this is H.265 at 10-bit. And coming up next is also from the new Air 2S, and it's the new 5.4K mode, which is really bad. Oops. And we're gonna relaunch it. So now what we're gonna be trying is we're gonna be making proxies. We will be using a proxy workflow and optimize media. Let's try it again, because we know that DaVinci Resolve can work at full HD resolution on the GTX 590 and the 580 because of the limited 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Let's try a full HD only workflow. Okay, under the menu master settings, we will go to the optimize media and render cache settings, and we are not going to be using proxy, but we will be using optimize media resolution, and we'll set that to half and change the codecs to DNx HRHQ. So now we will just select the Mavic Air 2 footage and make optimize media. Let me speed that up. Okay, now that's done, and let's have a look at the timeline again. The ProRes LT clip and the B-RAW clip, we will leave it there, and just delete the rest of the clips that are not optimized. So move that down, and okay, we'll just scrub, and you can see that it is smooth. It will play back really smooth. Okay, let's see how it plays back with some titles. These are Fusion titles, so they need to be rendered. And guys, keep in mind that this clip that you are watching now, it's the BMP-CC 4K clip shot in B-RAW and UHD. And finally, this clip is the one that we optimized earlier on, and this is the Mavic Air 2, also shot in UHD and rescaled down to 1080. Okay, here we add a dissolve, we add another dissolve. Let's start playback from the start, and we'll see the red bar right on top of the title clip. That's the Fusion titles, and once the bar becomes blue, it becomes rendered. The Fusion titles becomes rendered. Here we see a little bit of stuttering. It's because the clip is playing back and is being rendered at the same time. The titles are being rendered at the same time. So when everything is blue, you are good to go. Okay, fast forward to something that I've made, and in this section we have 4 layers, so I would want to render this section. Okay, so now we are in the render tab, and under advanced settings we want to turn on used optimized media, and we also want to turn on use render cached images. Set the file name, add to render queue, and start the render. So I'm not going to be speeding up the render so that you can actually see how long it takes, and this is by using the render cached images and the render cache files. And now we get to the BMP-CC 4K BRAW clip. So this has not been optimized, and it is still a UHD clip, so and it's got a couple of layers, so that explains why the system slows down. If we have a more powerful graphics card, then it would probably go very much faster, but this is the GTX 590 and it's a 10-year-old card, so now we see it struggling to render. It is pretty slow, but if we optimize the BRAW UHD clip into 1080, it would go very much faster, because now it has to resize and re-render. Right, the moment we get by that clip, we see it go very quickly, and we are going at 35 frames per second. Okay, we are done. Now let's have a look at our render. So, is the GTX 590 and 580 capable of editing in DaVinci Resolve? I would say yes, but all the clips and rushes need to be optimized in Full HD or lower with the DNxHQ or the ProRes codecs, and the timeline is limited to 1080p or 720. So simple social media videos for Facebook and Instagram would be perfect. However, I would pay a little more for a GPU with more VRAM, like a 2GB or a 3GB GPU. In the next episode, I will be testing out the next card on the list from the weakest to the most powerful and see how we can push them. And we'll take a look at the Radeon R9 270X. So thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe for more.